The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm on the 485 HTS from Galeon. I'm going to put it on a full features inspection and sea trial. There's a hydraulic platform that comes out 4 feet from the transom, which also has a tender garage. When you lower the platform, the stairs automatically deploy. In this manner now we have our own private teak beach. Reboarding stairs are over on the left-hand side.
And the platform also serves as a tender lift with a capacity of 880 pounds.
There are cleats up high outside the trip zone and underneath this hatch. Look at this, another cleat. And I'm happy to see that we have storage for the extra dock line. In the closed position, cleans up nicely. Now, we can access the aft deck by stairs to the starboard side. There's an acrylic gate, stainless steel framed. U-shaped seating. A double pedestal table can go in the center. There's space underneath for a life raft. We can also lower the table to form a large sun pad here. And of course there's a Sureshade extended awning that can be extended out from the back of the hardtop. We can get to the starboard side deck from stairs right here, and I'm happy to see that even with all of this space, we still have access to the port side deck from stairs outside the cockpit seating. Making our way along the side decks, I'm happy to see that there's a rail along the cabin sides. We've got 16 inches between the cabin side and the rail, which now comes up 22 inches. And take a look at this for sideboarding from a fixed pier and opening gate. Midship cleat. Continuing forward, right on top of the trunk cabin. Beautiful sun pads, 7 feet 6 inches by 6 feet 9 inches. I love the cabana giving us a little bit of shade, making it a little more tolerable to spend the day up here. Fully forward, we come to the working end of the bow. Recessed quick windlass, cleat on the side for securing the rode. Runs out through a stainless steel anchor roller embedded into the bow, plow anchor. Remote spotlight over to the left-hand side, foot controls just behind. This glass door slides open. The glass window slides down with the door into the center of this bulkhead. And so now we have a seamless transition between the inside and the outside as we make our way into the interior of the boat. And yet again, another gathering area wrapping around a beautiful wood pedestal table. Look at the outstanding views we have by these high windows, and they also go low enough so that we have a view to the horizon from the seated position. Up ahead, plenty of skylights. The forward section opens up. To the opposite side, bit of an outdoor galley. Up above, stainless steel sink, open counter space, storage, and refrigeration. And notice the fit and finish starts right here with this beautiful stainless steel rail that's angled. Would be much easier to make it straight, but the extra mile is not lost on Galeon.
Now, let's take a look at the features down below.
Well, this is certainly roomy enough. 6 feet 11 inches of overhead clearance. Dinette over on the starboard side, galley to the port hand side. Let's start with an individual look at some of the features of the galley. Clearly, here's a good spot to tout the fit and finish that I've always been so impressed with on Galeon yachts. Matching grains, beautiful high gloss finish, multiple tones of wood, and plenty of storage. We've got plenty of open counter space, a covered stainless steel sink, and the cover does have dedicated storage. There are hull side windows with an opening port light in the center, pull down blind, double burner electric cooktop, microwave, more storage, and notice how this one has a double hinged door so that we can gain access a little better to the inside. And right alongside is a refrigerator with a nicely finished door. As for the U-shaped seating, it wraps around a high-low pedestal table so we can turn this into a sleeping area. Notice the upholstery with diamond pattern stitching. Now, this can also be converted into a larger dining table. And directly behind me is a 32-inch flat screen TV. We have hull side windows and an opening port light, and I like how they're all squared off. Up above, storage that opens garage door style. We're getting natural light not only from the doorway, but a fixed skylight overhead. Now let's take a look at the accommodations in this 2-stateroom, 2-head yacht. As we make our way to the master located just aft, again, the fit and finish. Solid core door, beautiful inlay work, And look at this, Alcantara suede on all of the bulkheads. The door handle, big enough so that even elderly hands can manage to open the door. It closes on a rubber gasket so that while we're underway, there's no rattling. The master is full beam and quite comfortable, in fact, varying geometry to the overhead thanks to the cockpit up above. I like when there's a couch in a master stateroom. It just seems like such a comfortable place to be able to discuss the day's events and plan for the next day. Hull side windows with an opening port light, again squared off, and it's repeated over to the opposite side. The berth is mounted on the center line. There's some beautiful decorative work going on with the headboard. The fit and finish certainly continues. There's a closet just behind and a 32-inch flat screen TV in the forward bulkhead. I like that there are sconces and reading lights to both sides of the berth, and here's some interesting storage solutions. Pull-out drawer underneath the nightstand to both sides of the berth, and look at the credenza style storage over to the starboard side. Now as we make our way back out, but still inside the private entrance to the master stateroom, is the master head. Now this has a large hull side window, again with an opening port light, mirrored cabinets just above the vessel's sink, plenty of the beautiful woodwork that we've come to appreciate from the brand, a walk-in shower, and yes, there is powered ventilation in this head along with natural light up above. Now the VIP stateroom is fully forward. Well, the VIP stateroom is typically how we would expect. Island berth nestled into the forward corner of the bow here. There are hull side windows to port and starboard, pull down shades, but I really like how there are storage spaces both high and low. Not many builders do that. In fact, very few do that, so it's nice to see here. And I like the way it curves around as we come to the front. Same headboard that we saw in the master stateroom. Storage solutions, as expected, closet just over here to the left-hand side. There's additional storage and 4 drawers underneath the berth, and overhead 6 feet 8 inches of overhead clearance. And look at this beautiful skylight with the nice woodwork, and it lets in even more light if we remove the forward pads from the bow. Over to the right hand side, beautiful door leading to private entrance to the head. Now this has all of the same features that we saw at the master stateroom with the exception of the walk-in shower. This one is a wet head, but it's also got a separate entrance to the galley and salon area, so it serves double duty as a day head. Just to the starboard side of the companionway leading down below is the ship's main electrical panel. Also in this cabinet is the Fusion stereo for the entertainment center down below.
The engine room is accessed from a hatch in the cockpit deck. Stairs allow for easy entry, and once inside, the main battery switches are to port and the generators directly to starboard, housed in a protective sound shield. Additional access to the center of the engines is through a hatch in the tender garage just above. The centerpieces are, of course, the twin 435 horsepower Volvo Penta IPS 600 diesel engines with the pods directly connected at the back. The fuel tanks are well protected and boxed in to ensure against movement. All fittings are on top and easily accessible. A fixed auto-discharge fire extinguisher is to the starboard tank.
At the helm, a 12-inch Raymarine touchscreen display, air conditioning vents to both sides, thank you very much. Raymarine autopilot, the Volvo Penta EVC display. Take a look at this, drink holders that retract into the panel. Rocker switches to both sides, electronic nav lighting over to one side, pumps, blowers, defrosters, and window control for the side window that goes up and down. As we make our way down, stereo over to the left-hand side, ignitions over to the right-hand side, the Volvo Penta digital controls with their host of features, plus the IPS joystick just behind, automatic trim tabs just behind that, and the steering wheel is mounted to a fixed base. Down below, there's a footrest which makes it comfortable to run the boat from the seated or standing positions, and when standing, there's a drop-down platform that elevates the operator 8 inches off the main deck. The double-wide helm seat includes a flip-down bolster.
Now, once underway, the Galeon 485 HTS has a length overall of 49 feet 2 inches and a beam of 13 feet 11 inches. She has an empty weight of 29,983 pounds, holds 336 gallons of fuel, and 119 gallons of water. The antenna tower is collapsible, but we had plenty of room. Because it was so rough on our test day, we weren't able to get proper performance numbers, but frankly, on a personal note, that's not what I came for anyway. I was told time and again that these boats handle great in rough conditions, and that's what I wanted to validate. The Galeon line were made for weathering North Sea storms, and while my offshore experience is predominantly in the North Atlantic, I've still got a pretty good handle on what crappy weather is like. So, while every boat in the area remained safely secured to the dock, Galeon handed me the keys and said, "Don't bring it back on E." The 485 is certified as Class B, that is to say built to navigate on offshore waters inside of 200 miles and can sustain up to 34 to 40 knot winds and waves up to 4 meters. On this day we had winds at 30 knots and seas at 6 to 8 feet. Good enough. She handled best with beam and following seas, no surprise there. We made several beam C runs at increasing speeds to drive that point home. On the downhill runs, we were able to maintain our speed with no hint of stuffing the bow whatsoever, and of course the ride was a lot drier. With seas at roughly 3 points off the bow, we were able to further increase speed. Head seas bring out the worst in any boat, and in this case, the worst is pretty good. She'd launch over a wave, throw a ton of spray to the sides, and then we'd brace for a pounding re-entry that would never come. She just resettles and continues to plow right through it. So frankly, the takeaway from all of this is, if there were ever a cruising boat that I'd want under me and my family when an unexpected storm popped up, it'd be this one. Upon returning to the marina, it was no surprise to find that the IPS joystick system was well dialed in and gave precise control of the 485 as we were coming into the dock. We were able to approach, swing around in tight confines, and back into our slip with effortless controllability.
I have to say that my previous inspections of this boat were all at boat shows and static displays where my only impressions were of the outstanding fit and finish. Well, now that I've taken it out in 6 to 8 foot seas, I'm still impressed with the fit and finish, but I now realize there's a whole nother side to the Galeon yacht story, the way they handle offshore conditions. And that's my full features inspection and sea trial of the Galeon Yachts 485 HTS. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.